Welcome back to another video on Spiritual Jungle. You guys see the title of this video. We're going to dive in on that shortly, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Etienne Telford, and I'm glad and excited you guys are tuning in and watching this video wherever you guys are watching from. And I hope this message bless you in a tremendous way. Now, before I dive on the topic of this video, I want you guys to please like, share, and comment down below in the comment section on what verse or verses helped you during the difficult storm. And I'd love to get back to you guys in the comment section. Now, the best way to help Spiritual Jungle out is by sharing this video. Please share this video so we can reach and help more people out. That would be doing me a huge favor. Now, this might be the most important video I made yet. Why, you guys may be asking? Because right now we're in a terrible storm, which is called COVID-19. A lot of you guys who are watching this video right now are unemployed right now. Some of you guys may have actually lost a loved one. Some of you guys may have actually contracted the deadly virus, and may literally right now as I'm making this video, as I'm speaking, is feeling hopeless, drained, and tired trying to fight it. Some of you guys didn't receive your stimulus check and maybe wondering where your next dollar would be coming from. Some of you guys have turned to drugs and alcohol trying to ride out the storm and escape reality, but I'm here to tell you the devil lied to you. Yes, the devil lied to you, and he's making you think there is no hope. But I have good news for you guys. There is hope. There is hope, and there is hope, and that hope lies in the almighty hands of Jesus Christ. Now I'm going to lay down the foundation for you guys because I want you guys to have a clear understanding and background knowledge before I dive in on this message. See, you cannot be strong and courageous without strong faith. God is very big on faith. Matter of fact, a lot is at stake with faith, such as miracles, righteousness, and your salvation. In Hebrews 11 verse 1, it says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Now, here's some strong examples of faith being attached to believing. In Mark 9, verse 14 to 29, if you guys remember, Jesus was confronted with a kid, right, who was demon-possessed. Yes, demon-possessed. In verse 17 and 18, it says he had a spirit that made him unable to speak. So this demon was making this kid unable to speak. Whenever it seized him, it threw him down, and he foamed at the mouth, grinned his teeth, and became rich. Now, you guys may be asking, what does rich mean? Well, I got the answers to that. That means he was unable to bend or be forced out of shape, not flexible. He was stiff, and he was firm, right? So later on, right, upon seeing Jesus, the demon that was possessing the kid, right, threw the boy into convulsion. Now, mind you, convulsion, it is plural. It's not singular. So you guys will be asking, what does convulsion even mean? Well, don't worry about it. I have the answer to that. It's a sudden, violent, irregular movement, right, of the limb or the body, caused by involuntary contractions of muscles and associated especially with brain disorders such as, listen to this, epilepsy, the presence of certain toxins or other agents in the blood, or fever in children. It's like a seizure or fit. Now, mind you, like I said, convulsion is plural. So he probably had multiple violent, right, irregular movements of the limb or the body. So this boy was getting tossed around, thrown around, flinged around, just like basically a quarterback throwing a 60-yard pass. That's what this demon was doing to this kid, just messing the kid up in multiple, triple, and all types of ways, right? So later on in the chapter, the boy's father pleaded, and he cried out with Jesus, desperate to free his kid from the demon, and said, "But if you could do anything, have compassion on us and help us out." Now, this is the craziest part. Listen to this, craziest part. Listen to this. Verse 23, Jesus said to him, "Everything is possible for one who believes." See that right there? Write this down, by the way. Write this down. That's the faith. Now, check this out. Immediately, see, it said immediately, the father cried out and said, "I do believe." And check this out too. Later on, Jesus cast the demon out to the point where people thought the boy was dead. I mean, how strong the almighty hands of Jesus laid on that boy. He threw that demon. He tossed that demon. They thought the boy was dead. That's how severe and crazy Jesus got rid of that demon. See, the faith came first, right? And what proceeded afterward was a strong healing and miracle. See, if the boy father didn't believe that Jesus could do such a thing, it would have just been plain words and dead words, and it would have been no result. That his kid would have still been demonized. That demon would have still been messing and tossing that kid around and just messing up his life. So that right there's a prime example of faith by believing. Now here's another example of faith by believing, which is found in Mark 5, verses 25 to 32. So if you guys remember, this woman was bleeding for 12 years. I mean, think about that, 12 years. 12 years of bleeding. 12 years of bleeding. And check this out, it says 12 years of bleeding and had endured much from doctors, plural S. So this lady went to probably multiple doctors, and just in a 12-year span, right? And it says she has spent everything. She spent everything she had and was not helped at all. So this lady was broke and helpless and probably done seen 100 doctors and was bleeding for 12 years. This lady was miserable, just miserable and just miserable. So it says she heard about Jesus and touched his clothing. This is what the lady said: if I just touch his clothes, I will be made well. So that right there is her faith attached to Jesus' clothes and believing that if she can touch Jesus' clothes, that she can be healed. So that was her strong faith right there, truly believing that she can be healed. So basically she already claimed it. So later on, Jesus questioned who touched him because he felt the power. He felt the power gone out from him. The lady confessed and told him the truth, and Jesus confirmed this. Verse 32. Your faith, this is crazy. This is what Jesus said. Your faith has saved you. And afterward, he told her to go in peace and be healed from her affliction. So I mean, it's crazy stuff. So that right there is another example of faith by believing. Otherwise, it would have just been plain words or dead words. The lady was just, I told you, just 12 years of pain, torture, going to multiple doctors, broke, helpless. I mean, she probably had some crazy nights, bad nights. I mean, the lady was just miserable. But she had the faith. She believed that if she could touch Jesus' clothes, she could be healed. And once she claimed that strong faith, she was delivered and she was healed right then and there. This is crazy stuff. So that right there is another example of just faith by believing. I'm giving you guys some good teaching, some good information, some good notes to take down. Now take this one down as well, because I'm going for it. This is an example of failure of faith, which is found in Matthew 17, verses 14 to 20. It says, when they came to the crowd, a man approached Jesus and kneeled before him. It says in verse 15, Lord, have mercy on my son. He said, he has seizures and is suffering greatly. He often falls into the fire or into the water. See, now check this out. It says, I brought him to your disciples. So the man went to the disciples first, not Jesus. But they could not heal him. Now Jesus said, you unbelieving and perverse generation. Jesus replied, how long shall I stay with you? How long should I put up with you? Bring the boys here to me. Bring the boy here to me. See, now, Jesus, right, rebuked the demon. And it came out of the boy, and he was healed. Healed at the moment. Now, in verse 19, the disciple asked him why they couldn't rebuke the demon. Now, listen to what Jesus said. This is the main point. This is what Jesus said. He said, because of your little faith. Now, the lesson to take here is that, see, that right there was a test of faith. See, the disciples couldn't cast the demon out. It wasn't merely a failure of power, right? It was a failure of faith, a failure to trust the power of God that could rebuke that demon from that boy, right? So later on, verse 20, Jesus told him, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will tell this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Crazy stuff, right? Nothing will be impossible for you. So apparently the disciple faith was was very microscopic. But even with a small trust in God, he can do the impossible. You guys have background knowledge on why believing is critical when it comes to faith, and why failure of faith prevents you from experiencing the power of Jesus. Now we can dive into the topic of the video about being strong and courageous in the storm. See, in 1 Corinthians 16, verse 13, it says, be on guard, stand firm in faith. Stand firm in faith. This is good stuff. This is some good stuff. Be man of courage. Be strong. In Joshua 1 verse 9 it says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. You see how these two words are attached to each other? Do not be afraid. That's the opposite of being strong and courageous. Do not be discouraged, which is the opposite of being encouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Now, what perfect passage, what perfect example, what perfect illustration, what perfect story I can give you guys, and the one I'm about to give you right now that best displays the storm that we are in right now, which is COVID-19, than in Matthew 14 verses 22 to 34, which is, yes, when Jesus was walking on water. See, this is when Jesus was walking on water, and the disciples thought he was a ghost, and they were terrified. So you see how the word terrified is associated with ghosts. You see, it's like when the disciple was terrified, it's like their vision was like distorted and blurred. They didn't know what they were looking at. It's Jesus right there, but they thought he was a ghost because they were terrified. See, later on in verse 26, it says, Jesus immediately spoke to them, have courage. Now, for you guys who don't know what courage means, write this down. It means to be bold, fearless, firm, and brave. He just said, it is I. Don't be afraid. Now, Peter, Peter was skeptical and said in verse 26, Lord, if it's you, Jesus answered, command me to come to you on water. Now, this is crazy. So Jesus was walking on water. Now, Peter was walking on water. See, it says, Jesus said, come out, and Peter started walking on water. See, now Jesus took his eyes off. Now, Peter took his eyes off of Jesus, which is the prize. And look what happened afterwards. It says, a strong wind came, and Peter was afraid and started to sink and wanted the Lord to save him. So this right here, like literally like displays COVID-19 right here. Peter took his eyes off of Jesus, took his eyes off the prize, took his eyes off of hope, took his eyes off of strength and courage. And when he started to do that, he became afraid, started to sink, and now he's lost and confused and don't know what's going on, and he wants the Lord to save him. See, now here's the faith. Jesus saved them and said in verse 31, craziest thing, right? You little faith, why did you doubt? There it is right there. Why, like, the Peter doubted Jesus on, the aspect of him saving him, and you see how that doubt is attached to faith. Crazy stuff, right? See, this is an example that you can't doubt Jesus to perform a big miracle and save you in the midst of a disastrous storm. Even right now, you guys may be struggling, you guys may be lost, hopeless, and you guys may think there's no way out. But see, Jesus saved Peter in the storm. Why Jesus can't save you during the storm and give you instructions, guidance, strength, courage, and just uplift you and get you back rolling, right? Why can't he do that? Now I got another crazy passage I'm going to share with you guys. You guys should definitely be taking notes. This is definitely courage and strength. This is right, it's right in the face. Like, this is crazy, and this is found in Matthew 8 verse 26. Now it starts off by saying a violent storm. Mind you, we're in COVID-19 right now. A violent storm arose on the sea, and Jesus was sleeping. See, you guys may be in the midst right now of a crazy storm, and just you think everything is falling apart, and here's Jesus sleeping. That's crazy. The disciples, they panicked. So it's like us, we were panicking, and it says they thought they were going to die. So I know a lot of people during this COVID-19, anxiety, fear, depression, all of that hit people to where they thought they were going to die. You people started panicking. People just no sense of direction. They don't know what's going on, right? And look, the disciples panicked and thought they were going to die. Now listen to this. Jesus responds to the disciple, why are you afraid? And listen, you little faith. Little faith. You see, the little faith is associated to being afraid in a violent storm. You see? Now pay close attention to what happened afterwards. So mind you, Jesus is sleeping. He got up and rebuked the wind and the sea. See, if Jesus can rebuke the waves and the wind, which is essentially the storm, why he can't rebuke the problems, the fear, anxiety, the loss of job, and the worry that you may be going through right now, or maybe thinking of right now, or the crazy sticky situation you're right now. See, you just have to activate that strong faith by believing by the power of Jesus that he can get you through this difficult storm. Do not be afraid. Now I'm going to wrap this video up with the activation right now, with the activation of incredible strength and courage in this storm. In the name of Jesus Christ, by faith, by faith, by faith, by faith. Fear, anxiety, hopelessness, anger, depression will go away in the name of Jesus. Will go away. These things will be broken off of you right now, and you will be restored. And I'm going to end this video off with just saying these things will be broken off of you in the name of Jesus. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys it blessed you in a tremendous way. And I'll see you next time on Spiritual Jungle.